border.
Okay.
She's got some trigger points in it. I can go right in the belly and push down because it's a lot thicker. This is such a thin edge pushing. Kind of perpendicular to the tissue.
So when you say not to do ischemic compression, like when we're doing Swedish or whatever, is that just...
That's a time
just
thing.
A time? Oh,
That's
okay.
just a time thing.
Okay.
If y'all got a 2 hour and you're like, I don't know what to do, you do those 3 lines in Swedish, treat some trigger points.
Okay.
If it's an hour and they only want the back, throw some of that in there. It's strictly a time thing.
You really just don't have time to warm up the tissue back there without getting too hours. So trying to push down through there can be a little fighting.
It's
It's a
nerves.
little bit uncomfortable.
Tight muscles make your nerves. Tickle sensation anywhere is just hyperactive nerves. So, and when the muscles get tight, they can irritate those nerves. So you're more likely to have a tickle response along the back. So just press harder. Not so it's painful, but more pressure means it's less tickly.
Do those trigger points feel any different than they do in the upper spine?
They're just thicker. This is a thick muscle. You'll find trigger points all along these attachment sites. So since this is a hip hiker, I can take this muscle into an elongated position. Trinity, can you take your right leg and cross it over your left leg? So I've brought her leg over, it's brought her pelvis down. So now I've created a bit of an elongated muscle. Just access more fibers a little bit easier. Kind of putting it in a stretch. Is that comfortable for your legs though? Nice deep breath. Or just 10 minutes into treatment. I could spend an hour working erectors and QL. We haven't even really touched the neck. So in treatment today, this is what we're focusing on. If you wanted to treat the erectors of the neck, it would be the same way we learned last week with those upper trap. Just the face up, squeeze and pull, and then throw some effleurage in at the end. We'll get more of a detailed treatment when we dive into the neck muscles. And know if it were real world, the target was the back, you could at least spend the last little bit just doing some gentle neck stuff, because we know spinalis attaches to the neck, longissimus attaches to the neck as well as the skull, so we want to hit that muscle in completion. The last one, serratus posterior inferior. Remember, they sit like this, the superior sits like that. Oh, and iliocostalis comes out. So we can kind of hit both by just taking our strokes out this way. If I am unsure if I'm hitting iliocostalis, I can feel fibers on her. I'm confident in it. I can have her extend, pop your shoulders up, like extend your spine, sorry. Let me use my real words. Sorry. And I can feel it right through here. And relax. You're gonna feel the broadness of trapezius, even though it isn't a spinal extensor, it's kind of a stabilizer. You just feel a broad sheet. Iliocostalis, you're going to feel coming up, and more of an individual groupings like this versus a sheet running this way. You can uncross your leg if you want to.
Oh, they were already uncrossed.
Oh.
When he asked me to extend, I think I uncrossed it.
I got you. She's holding some tension as I pull that back. Ideally then, if you can't really get under that inferior angle, you're gonna have to start working on this shoulder a a little bit to free it up. For demo's sake and time's sake, I'm not going to do that.
So would you just hold it up like you were, or could you do like we do with the other stuff and like putting it actually
You
behind
could do
your
that
back?
way, yeah. Just spend like real focused time on it. We can kind of play catch with it, back and forth. Kind of jostle it a little bit while I work on this angle. If somebody's latissimus dorsi is attached, you're not going to be able to pop that up, and you just kind of do the best you can. I don't think anybody in this class has maybe not been able to pop up a scapula. Not for long. I feel like everybody's pretty good. Every now and then we have a student who's got some fixed scapula. Started getting into your cherries. I was about to get lost in the sauce. Friction's going to be the same as lats. Same as kind of the myofascial release we did. Pulling away from the spine. I'm always one to do more circular movement, but you can do more linear. So we're actually perpendicular to the spine. I'm pulling straight out this way. I just feel like circle's a little bit nicer, yeah? Person on the table. Get a little bit more of a flow into your friction. Friction the ribs. Sacral work. You can do it over the sheet if you want to. And remember, if it's low back issues, throw some glute work in there. We don't have time for that today, but if it's a treatment you're doing when you're practicing in the real world.
Is it safe to say to just probably always do that over the sheet? Or-
Yeah, it's a good, because it keeps a boundary here, you know.
Well, you're pretty close to the.
That gluteal cleft.
But can't you get more work done if you don't have the sheet? I mean, there's
Necessarily.
certain moves that you like can do better without one.
You can still have techniques that are very effective even over the sheets.
Yeah.
Like that one you did with your elbow when you're like tracing it.
Yeah, it's a great move, but there's still a lot of good techniques that you can utilize. Well,
Could you do that over the sheet though?
Probably not, because that's a more of an effleurage, but you can do an improvised one where you kind of
Okay.
trace more with a compression base.
Talking along like the SI.
Yeah, just following all along the SI and the iliac crest there. So if it's
Our glutes are not warmed up, but
Yeah, so if you're
I'm tracing
going
it.
along with that, you could trace like that, but at the
Yeah,
same
right.
time, it's like I had to do this yesterday. The gentleman kept his compression shorts on, so I did kind of a similar thing, but it's more compression based. So it was still followed along, but all compression based.
Hmm.
not usually limited unless it's flannel sheets. Ugh. I hate flannel sheets. It's hard to tuck.
Flannel sheets don't fit you.
Good. Good.
That's what I use.
I'm on her SI right now. Just treatment of that. You could spend a lot of time on the sacrum and the SI. And over the sheet, I feel like I can actually do more. So, SI. Sacrum's right here. Here's her iliac crest. So I'm on that SI connection point over the sheet. You feel comfortable here? Feel like I know what I'm doing?
I mean, yeah, you know what you're doing, but yeah, it's intense stuff.
It is.
That's fine.
But if this was directly on your skin, would that feel like maybe a little bit more invasive?
Yeah, I feel like give each other growing up or something.
Yeah, like you can always lead in before you friction and say, hey, I'm gonna do a little sacral work, I'm gonna do a sheet. Let me know if you're ever uncomfortable, you want me to change what I'm doing. Or if you have any questions about what I'm doing, I'm happy to answer. You know, kind of open door communication. The fibers here go all different directions, and they're multiple layered. They're running angles like this, parallel, up and down. It's all to secure these two flat bones together. So, and if somebody has iliac upslip, where the pelvis has been tilted forward or back, that'll be intense, but they'll love it. I love sacrum work. Do the whole northeast, southwest thing. So pull down, pull up, pull across, pull across. Pull the tissue away from the sacrum. Boom. Okay. Questions? On that short little demo?
Any stretching?
Yeah,
So with this, stretching on the table can be difficult because they're in a state of undress. So the one we can do, well, two you can do. So when they're face up, you can do the one we learned last week, chin to chest, and kind of push and flexion. Other one you can do. It's kind of an involved process, but why not? I'm going to have you flip. So she's got pants on. That's nice. What you'll have them do, can you go ahead and bend your knees and kind of put your heels by your glutes as much as you can? We're going to make a diaper drape. So one side at a time. Wrap that up. Move to the other side. Literally wrap it around. So I've basically taken the sheet and put it between her legs and pulled the edges out and like wrapped her legs in them. Cinderella kind of thing. Mind if I get on the table?
Oh, yeah.
Fine, if you consent. Nice deep breath in and out. Check your drape as you go. It's just you two around. She's wearing pants. So that's fine.
I think she had pants on.
I know, I was going to say, I saw her.
If
Yeah,
you saw her,
could you-
I would be a lot more careful.
I was doing
It's
this
like-
during clinicals,
Yeah.
like for the, the happy baby stretch.
You were doing happy baby during
I heard
clinicals?
you.
I
do that, so this is what you were
I was up
doing.
on the table and
Dang,
everything.
shoddy.
Shoot. I didn't love anyone enough to do that.
Yeah, and just sometimes you make adjustments as you go with the drape. Go in slow. She's wearing pink breeches, so I'm like, whatever. And then off to the other side.
You feel the stretch?
No.
I don't know what
It was so
And then you can also do the figure 4 one
Oh, that was nice.
for a lower spinal. So it hits glutes and it hits low back. Maybe stretch out of this one. A little bit.
Yeah.
And then if they're bendy. Oh no, this one, right? Take it out straight. Oh, you did a good one yesterday. I'll show that one. I'm gonna be casual. Can you just pop up and pull it out? Arms out. So I'm reaching over the sheet. It just gives me a little extra grip. Hand on the hip. Stretch now. Barely. Did I do it right?
Yeah, I just